Picture this. You hit submit application, hold your breath for 10 agonizing seconds, and watch the little loading wheel spin, only for a multi-billion-dollar company to send you an instant email that basically says, "We looked at your financial life, and frankly, we're offended." It's the ultimate digital slap in the face. You have a job, you pay your rent, you're a functioning member of society. Yet this multi-billion-dollar bank started treating your application like a raccoon that just wandered a Gucci store. But here is the truth. You aren't getting denied because you are broke. You're getting denied because your financial profile looks like a red flag to a bank's algorithm. Today we're fixing your credit dating profile. Let's look at the actual autopsy of your denied application, starting with the most common reason you got swiped left on. When you get that automated rejection email, it's almost always because one of these four things. Reason number one, the too much too soon desperation spiral. Did you apply for a premier card, get rejected, and immediately think, oh yeah? Well, screw you. Let's see what the next bank thinks. And when they said no, you frantically went down the line? Here's what it looks like to a bank. Hi, can I borrow $5,000? No. Can I borrow 2,000? 500? 20? Please, I'm totally stable. Every single application triggers a hard inquiry to the credit bureaus. Hit and submit 5 times a week doesn't look like ambition. It looks like your life is collapsing and you are trying to find a hasty escape across state lines. Every single application punches a brand new dent directly into your score, meaning you're literally beating up your own credit report in broad daylight and leaving a full paper trail. Reason number two, the debt-to-income illusion. Maybe your credit score is actually great. It's a shiny 740, but you are still getting denied. Why? Because of your debt-to-income ratio, or DTI. Let's say you make $40,000 a year, but you have $500 a month payment on a car you couldn't afford, plus student loans, plus minimum payments on an old retail store card. The bank looks at your gross monthly income, meaning your pay before taxes, subtracts your mandatory monthly debt obligations, and realizes that if they give you another credit line, your dinner budget is going to consist entirely of tap water and sleep. They aren't just denying you because they're mean, they're doing it for your own safety. Reason number three, extreme credit utilization. This is what I call the 30% rule trap. Let's say you have one credit card right now with $1,000 limit. Every month you put $950 on it, you pay it off in full, on time, every single month. You think you're a financial hero. Guess what? The bank reports your balance to the bureaus before your due date. So to the rest of the financial world, your credit utilization is sitting at 95%. When another bank looks at your report, they don't see a responsible adult paying their bills. They see someone clinging to their credit limit for dear life like a shipwreck survivor holding onto a piece of driftwood. To them, you look incredibly risky. Reason number four, the ghost phenomenon. This is the ultimate catch-22. You get denied because you don't have a credit history, but you can't get a credit history because everyone keeps denying you. If you have spent your entire adult life paying in cash, debit, and avoiding debt like the plague, you probably think you deserve a gold star. But to a bank's automated algorithm, you aren't a financially responsible citizen. You're an unsolved mystery. You're a financial ghost. They have zero data to prove you'll pay them back, and banks hate mysteries. To them, a blank credit report is as terrifying as a terrible one. Okay, we thoroughly dragged your financial habits. Now let's talk about how to actually fix this train wreck so you can get approved next time. Put these 4 steps in motion immediately. Step number 1, read your financial breakup letter. By federal law, when a bank rejects you, they are legally required to send you something called an adverse action letter. Do not throw this in the recycling with other grocery coupons. It is literally the cheat sheet written by the bank, explaining you why they hate you. If it says too many recent inquiries, the fix is simple. Stop applying for things. If it says delinquent accounts, go find whatever utility bill you forgot about in college and pay it off. The bank has handed you answers to the test. Just use them. Step number 2, go on financial detox. This requires patience that I know is hard. You need to enforce a 6-month cooling off period. Stop applying for everything. No credit cards, no car loans, and yes, even those little paying for options at online checkouts. Let your hard inquiries age. Hard inquiries sit on your report for 2 years, but the algorithm stops penalizing your report after exactly 12 months, and they stop looking desperate to the bank even sooner. Give your credit report some peace and quiet. Step number 3, trick the algorithm with the statement date hack. Remember how I said banks report your balance before you actually pay it off? Here is how to cheat the system. Look at your current card and find your statement closing date. This is not your payment due date. It's usually 3 to 5 days before it. This is the exact day the bank takes a snapshot of your account and sends it to the credit bureaus. If you pay your balance to less than 10% before the statement closing date, the bank reports a tiny usage. Your reported utilization plummets, your credit score instantly spikes, and the algorithm thinks you barely touch your credit. It's highly effective, entirely legal, and makes you look like a financial saint. Step number 4, put on the adult training wheels. If your credit is completely ruined or you have a completely blank slate, stop applying for premier cards. You aren't getting them. Instead, swallow your pride and apply for a secured credit card. You give a bank a $200 deposit and they give you a card with a $200 limit. Yes, you're literally lending yourself your own money. It's slightly embarrassing. But if you use that credit card to buy 1 cup of coffee a month, pay it off immediately and let it sit, it will aggressively drag your credit score out of the gutter in 6 to 12 months. Or if you don't even want to risk a deposit, see if a parent or a partner with a pristine credit can add you as an authorized user on their oldest credit card. You don't even have to hold the physical piece of plastic. Their decades of flawless payment history will automatically clone themselves onto your blank report, turning you from a financial ghost into an established consumer overnight. And finally, before you go wallow in self-pity, I want to give you a secret that almost nobody uses: the reconsideration line. When an algorithm denies your application, you do not have to just sit there and accept defeat. Every major credit card issuer has a dedicated phone line that's staffed by actual, living, breathing human beings whose entire job is to manually review those rejected files. If your credit score is decent but you got flagged for something fixable, like a temporary spike in credit utilization or an accidental typo in your income, you can call them up and ask for a second chance. Do not call them sounding angry or entitled. Be incredibly polite and highly professional and ask something like, "Hi, I noticed my application was declined automatically, but I'd love to have a human review it because my report doesn't accurately reflect my current situation." You would be absolutely shocked at how often a 5-minute conversation with a human turns an automated no into an approved. Getting denied sucks, but it's entirely temporary. It is nothing more than a game with math rules written by billionaires. If you learn the rules, manipulate the timing, stop acting desperate, and let your inquiries cool down, you will win. Go look up your statement dates and stop maxing out your credit cards. And make sure to hit that follow button for more financial advice that hurts your feelings but helps your wallet. See ya.